Good morning, friends. In today's session, we are going to learn about Spring Cloud Load Balancer. So, you guys might be knowing what is a load balancer, right? So, in this session, I'm going to explain you how can you use a Spring project called Spring Cloud Load Balancer to do the load balancing. Traditionally, you might be using Netflix Ribbon to do a client-side load balancing, but you know that Netflix Ribbon is in a maintenance state. The project is under maintenance state, and we need to move to Spring Cloud Load Balancer component. Okay, if you are not aware of that, ignore. So this tutorial mainly focuses on explaining you from the basic what is proxy, reverse proxy, load balancer, and those stuff. So I, I'm going to I'm going to cover from the basics. What is load balancing? Why do you need it? What is reverse proxy? And those common terminologies and vocabulary around it. Okay. So then in the second step, I'm going to explain you with the Spring Cloud project in the microservices world why load balancing is at most important and dynamically load balancing is at most important. I'm going to explain you. And we are going to do a small demo of these in a laptop, very simple way to configure. I have a GitHub project for this. So this entire session, you can get it by cloning from my GitHub repo. You can play with this example and you can learn it very easily. Okay, so without wasting much time, let us go and start to understand few basics. So now my first question is, what is load balancing? So if people are aware of this, you just forward my video and you can strike forward, go to the reverse proxy stuff. So someone want to learn from the basics, this is very important thing to follow. So for example, you have two tomcats, tomcat 1 and tomcat 2. Okay, so you have two tomcats and right, so all the requests are served by the one tomcat, but your website got so much of attraction and you want to scale up because you understand that okay, that the one tomcat is not able to handle all the requests that you are getting to your website. You thought that okay, I'll add one more tomcat, and so that the load is distributed between them, the load is balanced between T1 and T2. So the thought process is like you are planning to add one more tomcat. So but when you add one more tomcat, right, you need to have some component which will equally distribute load across the tomcat 1 and tomcat 2. So that one we call it as a proxy. So like for example, you have browser 1, browser 1 and browser 2, like or system 1, system 2, which is running on system 1 and this is running on system 2. So clients will speak to proxy. Okay, client won't directly speak to your tomcat. So client will speak to proxy and proxy will route request to tomcat 1 and the response is served back to the browser. So proxy is speaking on behalf of browser, on behalf of browsers. The proxy is speaking with your tomcat. So proxy is something someone is speaking on behalf of you, right? So browser is talking to proxy and proxy is talking to the tomcat, and the tomcat sends the response and response is served back to the browser. This is what a proxy, a simple proxy, like if you understand your Wi-Fi router plays a role of proxy, you don't connect to Google server, right? So your Wi-Fi router takes request and speak to Google server. There are multiple hops in middle, but to make it as a simple, interesting analogy, I said that you can think your Wi-Fi router as a proxy, but generally we call it as a reverse proxy when we come to the server end. Okay, so this we call it not a proxy, we call it a reverse proxy. What is reverse proxy? It is speaking to servers on behalf of you. So you have a one proxy in front of your tomcat 1 and tomcat 2. We call it a reverse proxy. So you understood load balancing. Why do you need a proxy? To balance the load across your server so that one server is not troubled. Now, let us go to the slide. And we understood what is a reverse proxy. The third term which we want to hear is like, what is gateway? You might have heard about the term gateway. Okay. So what is the difference between reverse proxy versus gateway? Okay, what are these terminologies? So now we call like my services, right? We call it a Tomcat. One is like one microservice. You heard about the term microservice. Okay. Similarly, T2 we call it some microservice. So the two APIs or two applications, whatever we call them as a microservice, I'm not going to go into the microservice architecture and explain, but the simple what we in the microservices world, so we have a gateway which is nothing but a bigger than a reverse proxy. It's not only it only not only do the reverse proxy, but it will play a major role. So gateway is the one which gets all the requests. Reverse proxy is one component of it, okay? One feature of the gateway. So gateway is like a more bigger one. So gateways do not many things. It will do, for example, it will do SSL truncation. Okay. Then reverse proxy is one what we learn here. Okay. Few people do authentication and authorization. So if you have my Tomcats, right? The Tomcat don't do any authentication and authorization. It is done by the gateway. Then threat management. There are not many roles of a gateway. Threat management, if someone is hitting your website badly, then you need to protect your Tomcats. Gateway does that. Then threat management. Similarly, like you might have heard about circuit breaker pattern. Like if someone is hitting hard one of your website, like a denial of service to make your gateways down or proxies down. So gateways will simply truncate those requests. So we'll break those claims, stop those claims. So gateways do a lot many features than a simple reverse proxy. Think that gateway contains reverse proxy as one of the feature. So that's little bit about gateway, reverse proxy, and load balancing. So we got these all terms very well. Now let me go to the next slide. So what are the projects, how we are building this gateway? Okay, what are the components we use? So our entire application is built on Spring Cloud project. So we are using Spring, we are based upon Spring project called Spring Cloud. In that we use two things. One is Netflix project. So the Netflix project, we are going to use it as a registry. I'll come with. Then I use Spring Boot web app. I'll develop my REST API, which is running in Tomcats using Spring Boot. Similarly, Spring Cloud Gateway. Spring Cloud Gateway is the gateway component. If you see this, right, this is built on Spring Cloud Gateway. Then I have two Tomcats, which is built on Spring Boot web app. Okay. Then Spring Cloud Load Balancer. Okay. Spring Cloud Load Balancer is a part of the gateway. It's not a separate component. So with that, let me explain you the whole architecture and the information flow. I said, right, we need one gateway. Okay. A new term now you will hear it is as a registry. Okay, we call it a registry. I'll come there. So then we need to have our apps. like I run Tomcat 1. Okay, similarly, I run 2 Tomcats. Tomcat. So now you might have heard this term, what is registry? Registry is nothing but you can think like your roll call in your class, okay, where every student name is registered in it. And it is like, it is the most perfect information about your infrastructure. So registry maintain the information about services. Like I'll call gateway as one service, Tomcat as one service, and Tomcat 2 as another service. This registry has that information. So what happens is when a gateway comes up, it registers with registry. Similarly, when Tomcat comes up, it registers with the registry. Another Tomcat comes up, it registers with the registry. Okay. So now we have Spring Cloud Load Balancer. I call it an LB. So load balancer has to know where the Tomcats are, right? So that it can route request it. So Spring Cloud Load Balancer, let me use that, is going to fetch the information from registry. Okay. And it gets what are the healthy Tomcats and routes the request. So here it registers. Everyone registers. Okay, now let us see the request flow. So now here we have the browser. Now we have browser. Okay, browser calls the gateway. Okay, LB fetches what are the Tomcats that are there and routes the request to this guy and takes the response back and gives it back to the browser. If it makes another request, second request, it is forwarded to Tomcat 2 and response is served back and once again go back. Okay, now let us understand few things. Okay, a few libraries which will help us. We will have Eureka client. Eureka is like a registry server. So Eureka is the name of the project given by Netflix. It plays a role of a registry server. So once the registry comes up, it's like it is called, we call it a Eureka server. So every component uses Eureka client. Even Tomcat uses Eureka client. Okay, even this Tomcat uses Eureka client. So every time client comes up, it registers with the server. You need a Eureka server here. Right? Here it is like server. Bear with my handwriting. So you have Eureka server and Eureka clients. Eureka client gives the information about the health of the server. So I'm not going to delve with the how health checks are maintained, lookup and stuff. I want to keep this conversation very simple with Spring Cloud Load Balancer, Eureka server, Eureka client registry. Okay, so now you understood, right? So all the requests are served back to the Tomcats based upon the information registered in the registry. So how that Eureka client load balance it? So it's one is like reverse proxy. Load balance is like a round robin. The first request is given to this guy, second request is 2, third request is to the Tomcat 1, and fourth request is to Tomcat 2. Like that, it goes like 1, 2, then 3, then 4, like that. It is like load. It is like round robin between 1 and 2. So you just do a round robin between 1 and 2. That's how the load balancing is achieved. There are several ways to do a load balancing based upon your requirements. We are not going to do that, but here two simple things we want to learn is reverse proxy and load balancing. So Spring Cloud LP component is playing a role of reverse proxy and doing a load balancing as well. Okay, now let us understand the ports. So let me use a different color, or let me use red only. So gateway is listening on the port 8080. I think Eureka server is listening on 8761. I might correct it. The Tomcat is listening on 9090 and the Tomcat 1 is listening on 9091 port. So these are the ports. So browser makes request to like HTTP colon host name, like I'm running everything on here, localhost colon 8080. Like this, it is going to make a request. When a request comes to the gateway, it asks Eureka server, do you have any healthy Tomcats? It fetches the healthy Tomcat information, then route request to the Tomcat and send response back. So this happens transparently. When this Tomcat is dead, so it won't route request to this, it is going to route request to only Tomcat. So like this, these all things are going to happen. Okay, so let me show you the demo, then I'll go you through the code walkthrough, then you can play everything very easily. So if you see here, I have 4 tabs. One is registry. I have REST API 1, REST API 2, and I have a gateway. Another tab I'm running gateway, and in another tab I'm running the client. Okay, so the entire source code is there in this GitHub repo. I cloned it. If you want to play with this environment, you need to clone and run. All you need is a simple Java and Maven. I just do a Maven clean install because the repository will not have all the binaries. So you need to build them after downloading, cloning the Git repo. So that's it. If you see here, I have a registry, REST API, and gateway, and this is a parent project, Spring reverse proxy, Spring Cloud Load Balancer. Now I built with Maven clean install. Let me run the registry. So if you watch here, Java-jar, I have registry, the same pattern I follow on the snapshot. This is how you can run a registry, Java-jar, and let me start the registry. So registry is nothing but Eureka server. I'm starting Eureka server on 8761. This is the default port where Eureka server starts in Tomcat. Nothing but it's like a small registry. You can think it is like a map inside running in a Tomcat. So let me see. 761. So now you can see instances currently registered with this. There are no instances that we register. There are no services, either gateway or REST API or is not registered. So let me start the REST API. The same way I'm in the reverse proxy, my code, and this is how I'm starting my REST API. My REST API is running it in the Tomcat as a Spring Boot application. So let me start the REST API. What it will do, the REST API will have a Eureka client and it register with the Eureka server. So you can see that it registering with the Eureka server with the status of here. You can see that it is registering with Eureka server, and my REST API is running on 9090 port. Now, if you go to Eureka server registry and do a refresh, you can see that REST API is up, and this is the instance name. Okay, this is my REST API instance name. I have 9090. Now let me bring the NMO Tomcat. If you go to our architecture, we got this up. Sorry, not this. We got the registry up, and we got Tomcat 1 up. Let us bring the Tomcat 2. Okay. So I'm running another Tomcat. If you pay attention, it is running on the port 9091. So I'm running my another Tomcat or REST API 9091. Let me bring this up. Okay. Let me do a refresh. You can see that another instance got registered with 909. Now let us bring the gateway. I got the second component of the Tomcat. This one I got it up. Now let me bring the gateway up. So gateway, the same. You can, there is a gateway. I follow the same pattern. Then under the gateway there is a gateway binary. And bring it up. The only difference you need to note it here is the gateway is now I'm using Spring Cloud project along with Spring Cloud Load Balancer. So I'm using Spring Cloud Load Balancer to do a load balancing, and it is running in the NetD on port 8080. So we use NetD server, not the Tomcat. Gateway is written or not made compatible with NetD. Okay. NetD is simple. You can think it as a NetD is also a web server which is written in Java, which runs in the JVM. So I got NetD app or the gateway app. If you see this, the application name called gateway and which is running on 8080. We have all the, we have gateway, we have registry, we have two Tomcats. Let us start with the browser. So instead of browser, I use curl client, but I get the same thing it is like. So when I curl a service, right, localhost 8080, the request is called on localhost 8080 and let me do what it is happening. I got a response from 9091 Tomcat. This one gave the response. Let me do one more time. I got a response from 9090 Tomcat. So if you want to do the same thing with browser, you can do from browser also. I'm just showing you using curl, which is like a lot. So if you see, if you press one more, you got a response from 9091. We do an F5. Probably the browser is caching it. The most easiest way is the curl. You can see the curl is round robin between the requests. Okay, round robin between the servers. One time 9090, another time 9091, same thing 9090, 9091. I think browser is doing the cache, so it's not asking the server the response every time, request every time, but curl don't do that. So I use CURL. Curl is like once again a command line URL, literally URL. You read data from URL and respond back. So that is what a curl means. I think you understood how can you use Spring Cloud Load Balancer to do a load balancing across all the Tomcats, Gateway, Eureka server. Clone my repo, and it's very easy for you to follow this whole session. If you have any question, just drop a comment on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Sorry, I forgot to explain you the whole code and walk you through the code. Later I realized and I'm doing a recording. So now the three main, if you see here, right, here we have three main components. One is gateway, registry, and REST API. So I have a multi-module MAML project, which is like three sub-modules. I have registry, REST API, and gateway. So these three components are based on Spring Boot, but with additional dependencies, like registry needs Eureka server. So if I go through Eureka form of registry, here you can see here the only dependency I have is Eureka server. And the REST API, you need a Eureka's client, registry client, and you need a Spring Boot web. So if you see here, I have Spring Boot web and the Eureka client. Then guess what you need in the gateway? In the gateway also you need Eureka client, and also you need a Spring Cloud gateway because you need a NetD, right? So this is like you need two dependencies, Spring Cloud gateway starter, and you need a Eureka client. So every component needs to have a one Eureka client. Registry will have Eureka server, and gateway will have the gateway component, and REST API will have Spring Boot web component. These are the only dependencies you need to get this right. Okay, now let me go into simple the main classes for each one. So registry, if you see here, right? So bear with me. The registry is like a Spring Boot application with Eureka server. If you see to application.yml, I'm saying that it is running on 8761. The name is registry, and it will also have client, right? I say don't register with the server, so I don't want registry to register itself. That is not what we're going to discuss now, but why is something which I cover in my later sessions. Now, similarly, now go to the gateway, Java or Spring. On my gateway application is a Spring Boot application, and which is registering with Eureka client. It needs an Eureka client to register. Then the whole magic happens here. If you see the application.yml, right? The first thing what I'm saying is gateway runs on port 8080. Here is the main important component. If you use Netflix ribbon, okay, so you need to mention that ribbon enabled equal to false. The reason is you are using Netflix Eureka client, right? The client comes with ribbon library also. So explicitly mention that don't use the ribbon library which is in maintenance state. Use Spring Cloud load balancer library. This is the statement which makes that. Now a gateway has route. Okay, any request that is coming with /** forward it to these services. So the services we defined here, right? The REST API. You can forward it to any of these two services. So this is what it does now. The whole magic is here, and block the ribbon client. Then the round robin fashion Spring Cloud load balancer is going to forward the request to two applications, to Tomcats. Now, if you see Tomcat, it's also a very simple application. It doesn't have anything. It has one REST controller, hello world controller. Okay, any request it gets, it says hello world from and the port, and this is like the port on which it is running. I just take that, and it needs to have Eureka client and it's a Spring Boot application. So all you need to learn is every component needs to have Eureka client. So everything is based on Spring Boot, and my REST API is using Spring Boot Web, and the gateway is using Spring Boot Spring Cloud Gateway project. That's simple dependencies. You can achieve this entire tutorial, what I thought, the load balancer and everything. Hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching.